Here you are. Hi, friends. Doc South. Yep. My window to the world. My old smartphone here. It's a lot smarter than I am, I can tell you that. Boy, these things are amazing how they work. But again, I guess there's a trillion things I could use it for, but I like doing these videos. And, what was it? Maybe about a week and a half ago, we got some snow. Okay. Got some snow. And well, Sandy and I like to feed the birds, and yeah, all through the winter, being at the supermarket, I'll find some day old bread that's being sold for next to nothing, and we'll take it home, kind of toast it up a little for the critters, break it up. When I see matzahs on sale, we get them. Even there was a big blowout sale on Tostitos. Boy, the birds love them. Oh my gosh. And like that, whatever we can find that well, the little critters would like, we do. Now I was talking about the snow. Well, we had a fresh coat of snow about about a week and a half ago. So the first tracks you saw in the snow were Sandy's shoveling a pathway to the car in the driveway. Then the next thing you saw, if you were looking down up in a tree somewhere, well, there was my footprints leading out to the spot over the deck, under the deck rather, that the deck overlooks an area where, well, the birds have gotten to know that we put the scraps out there. But if you have, snow that's 9 inches deep, well, the stuff just goes into the snow, and the birds are going like, hey, what, where? Yeah. So, well, they're Jersey birds. I'm sorry, Boyds. And some of them come from Brooklyn. Yeah, if they fly out here, to take in the country air. But so what I do is I'll stomp like a landing zone for all the scraps and the birds. The birds like it too because they're a little sheltered from the wind when they're down in the hole there with the winds blowing over the top. Right, they kind of like that. And of course, there's like one bird keeping lookout, for anyone coming through. Might think a bird would be a tasty treat, and there you are. It all works out. It all works out. Well, okay. Now I just went out and looked on the deck. I don't think I could photograph this for you, or I would, but you should see all the tracks now. Oh, the critters are going nuts. Number one, all the snow is off the limbs. You can thank the squirrels for that. Yep, the squirrels, there was two squirrels, I think a boy and a girl. They seemed awfully interested in one another. And they were chasing each other. You should have seen, that girl's kept pretty much ahead of that guy. They were running in basically a circular pattern along lower limbs on some relatively small trees. She'd climb up the trunk of one tree, then out the limb of another, of that same tree, jump to another tree, run along that, then down the trunk, and onto another horizontal limb. So she's going like this, and then she gets back to where she started on that first limb. I told the horizontal limb, and they're running in this circle pattern. And every now and then he gets a little close to her. He gives her a sniff, and she turns around and bites him on the nose. And I guess it's love. Yeah, I suppose. What was it? I see that there's what looks like dog tracks, but all the dogs, Millie pretty much stays on the shoveled paths. I mean, she's a basset hound. She's a low rider, and her belly's kind of low from having pups so many times when she was younger. That she doesn't particularly like rubbing her belly on the snow. So she stays in the tracks. But so you will see a few of her tracks here and there, but not many. Don't count on it. And you can always tell it's Millie because there's also the ditch that her belly makes as she walks along. Again, basset hounds with little short legs. They aren't so little, but they are short. So, but I did see I saw some tracks, and I heard commotion the other night. And there's tracks out front where evidently, I'm assuming a coyote must have got a hold of a rat or a squirrel or something, well, had dinner. The poor, I remember here, I'm assuming it was a rat. It was an awful fight. And you could hear, the rat, well, the rat didn't, well, the rat didn't make it. He wound up being ratatouille for the coyote. And well, I guess that's how nature works. Kind of rough if you're the rat, not too bad if you're the coyote. And okay, so you got that. So there's tracks there. Then, oh my gosh, the other day, the geese are starting to come in. Yep, the geese are starting to come in. So you'll hear them honking. They don't leave tracks because they pretty much stay in the river. They fly in, park themselves, and they have a ball in the rapids out behind the house. You should see. They fly upstream maybe 100 yards, then they float back, and you can tell they're having fun. Them and their pals, their mates, or the other birds in their flight, and they'll do that for a while, and then all of a sudden off they go. I guess this time of year they're heading north. I think they like it colder than it is here. Neat. Ducks, yeah, the ducks are coming in with the geese. I guess the ducks see the geese and say, okay, this should be all right. Geese are pretty smart. And they land and they pester each other, but nothing too serious. A peck in the ear or something. Yeah. What else? Oh, this morning I woke up. I look out the window. The sun was just coming up. There must have been 500 birds on the various limbs waiting for us to put out the breadcrumbs. They all different types, shapes, and sizes. My God, they were everywhere. No eagles. I didn't see any eagles, but most everything else. And they, you could see they're all like, "Hey, come on, well, yeah, oh." They're almost looking in the window at me. Come on, what are you doing? We're hungry here. Yeah, and and then, yep, the stink bugs are coming alive in the house. They usually hang out near the windows over the winter, and some of them are dead, but others, oddly enough, when it gets warm enough, next thing you know, I guess they're frozen, and all of a sudden they go, hey, hey, hey. And next thing, it's kind of cool. I'm alive. I lived through winter. Hey, where's a girl? Yeah, or something to eat, or both. And let's see. Even Millie actually at night, when she has to, quite often she'll come wake me up. I think she hears something or smells something outside. She has a very sensitive nose, and that or she just has to go. But she's getting very particular now. It has to be just the right spot. I guess it's scent time in the valley, and she also she likes to sniff what other critters might be in the neighborhood. Yeah. What else did I see? Well, the snow actually down near the riverside. There's some rather large tracks, larger than I think deer might make. I don't know if the bears are awake yet. I would think they're still sleeping. It might be the one trail I'm looking at that goes down along our beach side of the river looks to be, I don't know, it's kind of an odd deer-shaped pattern. A deer track pattern. It just doesn't look regular. And I got to thinking, that's either a deer that's, that evidently is nipping at the sauce, or I got a feeling maybe it's that deer that limps a lot. We have one that hangs out in the yards here, our yard and a few of the neighbors' yards. That deer evidently has a bad, I think, left rear leg. And he kind of limps around. So that might be him. Maybe he found himself a spot to sleep, and now the days are longer. He's getting out and checking out the scene. That or it's a bear. I don't know. Well, that's about it. I mean, all of a sudden, the juices are flowing. I guess like the circle the squirrels were making, the circle once again has turned to spring. And I imagine for the critters, out here. It's a good time for them. No snakes yet. They snakes think, oh no, you don't. I'm not even thinking about getting up yet. But we'll have them too for too long. Most of them relatively harmless. I think we do have some copperheads around here, but again, they pretty much will leave you alone if you leave them alone, and that's about it. Yep. No hornets yet. No, not yet. In due time. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you later, friends. You might want to get out and go for a walk. Get your tracks into the snow. Huh? Yeah. Okay, before it melts. We'll see you later. Thank you and God bless.